Hey, good afternoon. It's Tuesday, February 15th. Thanks so much for being here today. Going to start a new series today about what America needs. Don't worry, I'm not going on some kind of a political rant. I'm not going to recommend any candidates to you or political parties. We'll talk about what is the core of what America needs. And it has to do with our children. I've been talking with a few moms recently who are concerned about where our country is. More importantly, they're concerned about where their families are and how their children are being treated and valued and viewed. And what we need most as Americans, any place on the planet really, but as Americans, what we need most is to learn how to value our children in the way that God values them and begin there and build a lifestyle around what God says is important and about where find the true value of our children. You see, what's happened is we don't believe that children are a result of the hand and workmanship of God. We believe children are a result of the whole evolutionary process, of random chance. There's no design here. We believe children can determine who they are and what they are, regardless of God. And what does that left us with? It's left us with a confused, wandering, disturbed, upset, uneasy, anxious, depression-filled culture. Because we're not starting with what God says is important about children. That's why I'm saying this is what America needs most, is this understanding of what God says about children. If our children are not raised, educated, lived with day in, day out, without a sense of the holiness of God, our children will lose a sense. They'll lose the ability to determine, to distinguish between right and wrong, good and evil. And isn't that what's happening around us? We call the good bad, and we call the bad good. And then we double down on it. Where does that leave us? With confusion. This is why I'm saying America needs most to understand children in the way that God has said. Children are people. They are not imperfect people. They are not people waiting to grow up. They are people. From day one, and actually from the womb, they think, they breathe, they talk in their minds. They have ideas. They need to be responded to. They need comfort. They need solace. They need strength. They need the presence of God, just like you and I do. And we've been sold a bill of goods, a lie, that they don't need that as children. They do. They are people. They are made in the image of God, right from the beginning. So Psalm 139 says this about these children, these beautiful creatures made in the image of God. David says this, you made all the delicate inner parts of my body. Nothing happenstance here. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Not some random act. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. Do you see the security that comes from this? Whether we are doing well, whether we're not doing well, whether our bodies function well or not, God is not absent from the process. He is there, calling us to something greater, something more beautiful. God has purposely designed your children, knit them together in a way that their complexity blows us away. Our society can't deal with complexity. We want children that are cookie cutter children. They're almost automatons that will bow to whatever they're told. Honestly, we're afraid of raising children who are complex, who may be something different that we can figure out who they are. But God has called us to know them that way and to present that to them, to be in awe of their beautiful complexity, be in awe of who they are, and then wonder at the beauty of God for making our children this way, for giving them the stature of creatures made in the image of God, people made in the image of God, who are designed by God to know Him, to long for Him, to walk after Him, and to know the peace that only He can give. Our children are designed, our toddlers are designed to give praise to God. If we rob them from that, we rob them from their very being. What does America need most? America needs families, parents, a culture, educators, leaders who will recognize that children are image bearers of God, wonderfully, beautifully complex, and need to be rightly related to the one who designed and created them. Thank you so much for watching. It is such a huge encouragement.